guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming, and 70 minutes with the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of NeveN. So y'all, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. Of course she doesn't want to talk about Makad. There are mostly two types of Makadian and Frostfang after all, visiting nobles and runaway slaves. And she's clearly not one of the nobles. Sorry, I didn't mean to... If you really want to know what my people's lives are like, just ask the Sead who's with you. No doubt he knows the details. Aket? I don't think that's a good idea. He has nothing to do with this, not anymore. He's Sead, and he will remain so. They can't change their nature. They are cruel, selfish, and perverse. Aket is not like that. I won't let you talk about that like... I won't let you talk like that about a friend of mine. A friend? Really? When you know who he is? Tell me, Ellois, what does that tell me about you? That unlike you, I don't judge others on their origins, but on their actions. I know Aket, and he's a good person. And I know the Sead, up close and personal. There is not one better than the other. It's only a matter of time before yours shows his true colors. She's really starting to piss me off. I can imagine what she's been through, and I can obviously understand her hatred for the slavers. But she never talked to Aket. She has no idea who he is, how he thinks. He came here precisely because this is what he didn't want to become. I'm about to answer to her when she stops in front of me. We have arrived. Sir Vol will now take care of you. The priest of Garan who was at the contest? Himself. Shouldn't it be the priest of the Forgetful Ones who takes care of me? A priest of the Forgetful Ones? I'm afraid I don't know him, to be honest. I'm not sure he exists. I ran into him when I came to the temple during my first days here. Are you sure he wasn't the priest of another god, or maybe a crook? I don't necessarily always pay attention to what's going on around me, but still, I'm pretty sure I didn't hallucinate our encounter. The guy dressed in blue from head to toe. It's hard to forget. As I'm about to answer her, I'm interrupted by a deep voice echoing from the temple entrance. Lady Semi, as always, it is a pleasure to see you. Ellois, pleased to meet you personally. The boar is standing in front of the entrance, arms crossed behind his back, watching both of us. Sir Vol, King Lusk would like to apologize for forcing you to take on this extra work, and hopes it does not upset your own plans too much. Given the exceptional nature of the situation, please reassure our king that I will not hold it against him. And hello from me too! So, you're the one who's going to teach me how to use this thing? I point to my back and the priest just gives me a quick glance. Something tells me this isn't exactly the having fun and learn kind of teacher. Indeed, I think the next few days will be enlightening for both of us. I see someone is brimming with enthusiasm. Follow me. Aren't we going to the temple? We are not the same sort of wildlings village. The kingdom has specialized space available for brand training. Blah, blah, blah. We're not some sort of wildlings village. Who does he think he is? So, he is someone I would not want to piss off. I have a feeling we're not going to get along. Fortunately, the training grounds are not too far away. And indeed, I can see why training here will be easier. It's a long one-story building that borders a large open space, which is divided into 4 separate fields bounded by wooden fences. Each of these fields offers a different environment, suitable for one or more types of brands. One of them is simply a square of land with nothing else on it. There are 2 people on it right now, a snow leopard and another fennec. The other field looks very similar to the first one, but there are several braziers spread around the area, probably to help new firebrand bearers. The third is a pool of water at its center, and the last one is a simple garden in which several people are planting what I assume are seeds, under the supervision of a priest, enough to allow the training of all types of brands. Well, at least those are related to an element. Gentlemen, if you'll forgive me, I think I see my grandson training. Of course, Lady Semi. I will send you the rabbit once we are finished. Hey, I have a name, you know. Forgive me. He doesn't really look sorry. Quite the contrary. I wonder what I did to piss that one off. After Simi leaves, Vol leads me to one of the doors to the main building, taking us past several rooms, some of with their doors open. Peeking into one of them, I can see Anthracans cutting boards as carpenters would. Then in another, a clash between armored warriors takes place. I wonder what all this has to do with learning how to use brands. Finally, we enter a small room with a series of chairs and desks. Study room, I guess. I leap into the first chair I come across, while Vol remains standing in the center of the room, inspecting me up and down again. Good. Here we will do without all the lord and other courtesies of that sort. You are here to learn, and I am here to teach. That is the only status that matters. Understood, Vol. I offer him a big grin, to which he responds with his usual death stare. I have a feeling we're gonna have a blast together. Alright, now take off your shirt. Please. What, right now? You could buy me a drink first. Do you intend to respond to every one of my remarks with insubordination? To be perfectly honest, it's quite likely it will happen again. Cole lets out a long sigh. I simply wish to see your brand, so take off your shirt and show me your back, now. Okay, alright, if we can't even joke anymore. I finally obey, presenting my bare back to the priest. The latter then slowly follows the lines on my back with one of his fingertips, making me shiver in the process. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. I suppose there's no chance that this is a known brand and this is all a misunderstanding? No chance at all. I've never seen anything like it. I feel like it changes shape slightly every time I stop looking at it directly. It's good to know I'm not the only one seeing this. For a moment there, I thought this thing was driving me crazy. Talk about your brand with more respect. It's a gift from the gods. I didn't ask them for anything. Well, not for that specifically. Are you not honored with what you have received? I paused for a moment. I don't know, actually. I haven't really had time to settle down and think hard about all that's involved. So, water time. I'm happy to finally have a brand, obviously, but to have NeveN's, it means a lot of different things. I'm unique now. There's only one person in the world who can do what I do, and that's me. But it's not something I've worked for. I didn't do anything to earn it. It's just there. I don't know. I always wanted to be famous, for people to know my name, but I wanted to be the thanks to my own merits. I worked for years on my singing to do the best, and all of a sudden I'm the chosen of NeveN. No matter what I do, no matter what other qualities I have, it will always be what's the most interesting thing about me. I don't see what difference it makes. This brand is a gift from NeveN, but it's part of you. It's up to you what you want to do with it. It's a tool to use and respect. You are the only link to NeveN, but what you do with that link is entirely up to you. That's why we're here, to guide you to the righteous path. The righteous path according to whom? According to the gods, obviously. That's convenient. The priests are the only ones who know how to interpret the divine wills. But these discussions can wait. Today, let's think practical first. What exactly do you know about the use of a brand? Make some light and stuff happen. I guess that's one way to look at it. But it's actually a little more complex than that. A brand can have 3 different states. He leans over, showing me the brand on his right arm. Up close, I can see that the metal covering it has been poured directly onto the flesh. It's not exactly a pleasant sight. I really wonder what happened. It's clearly not an accident. My brand is dormant for now, as is yours. I'm not using its power. However, I can awaken it. I still won't use it directly, but if I need to, I can call on its power much faster than if it were still dormant. Beneath the metal lines, I can see a faint bluish light escaping as if trapped under the steel rectangles on Vol's arms. And finally, I can activate my brand. It's in this state that I can directly use its power. The light on his arms intensifies again, while the steel on his brand vibrates slightly. He then pulls a stone from his pocket, making it float slightly above his palm. Once in front of my muzzle, the stone contorts, changing shapes and sharpening, before returning to its original form, slowly settling to Vol's hand. The latter deactivates his brand before looking at me with a satisfied expression. Nice trick? It is indeed a mere artifice for the most fervent of Garan's brand. I could not be the high priest if I did not achieve much more than that. I suppose so, but that doesn't explain the metal covering your brand. This metal is simply a symbol of the pact between Argon and Garan. Every piece of work coming out of my forge is thus directly marked by the gods, guaranteeing its quality and blessing the object. Okay, obviously he takes his job as a priest and blacksmith very seriously. Hope he's not planning on making me a cleric of some sort, because that's really, really not my thing. Let's get back to our lesson. Do you understand the 3 states of your brand? Dormant, awake, and active. It's not very complicated. That said, you didn't explain how I go from one to the other. For that, we'll have to start by finding your awakening gesture. My awake what? You've seen other people use their brands before. Beginners, or those who don't use the gift of the gods much. Need help activating it. In this case, they need a particular movement. This is called the awakening gesture. It is usually a relatively simple gesture, related to your daily life or personality, that allows you to initiate the awakening of your brand. Second, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm back. I'm setting up an appointment for my parents to get some new fiber optic internet installed. Anyway, Alright. This is called the Awakening Gesture. It is usually a relatively simple gesture related to your daily life or personality that allows you to initiate the awakening of your brand. Never really paid attention to it, but now that I think about it, I think I see what he's talking about. Rhaegar always tends to slap his chest before activating his brand, and I've seen Erwin scratch his every now and then before spitting flames. As an example, here's my awakening gesture. Not that I need it anymore. He places his left hand on one of the tables before picking up his hammer. What is he? Oh God, no, don't do that! He then raises the hammer and slams it on the back of his paw. Immediately, the light of his brand is visible. By the gods, you're out of your mind! By NeveN. By what? Your god chose you. Use his name. In that case, by NeveN, you're a lunatic! His face expresses no pain or discomfort. It almost looks like nothing happened. I ran into the resident madman. Absolutely brilliant. It had to land on me. If he thinks I'm going to start hitting myself with a hammer, he could stick his arm up his... It's not a gesture I chose. Is it your daily life or your personality that defined it? It simply represents the sacrifices I am willing to offer in honor of the gods. A little pain is nothing in exchange for their gifts, and the priests of Morani can heal me anyway. Well, thank you, but that's not for me. Pain is not really my thing. Well, unless they tie me to the bed first. But I'll keep that one to myself. And something tells me he's not receptive to that kind of humor. I figured as much. Your gesture is probably something you already do on a daily basis anyway. So what? I spent some time trying all kinds of gestures to see if anything happens? Not just any gesture. Something that is part of your daily routine. Some people awaken through their jobs. Others through warrior deeds, but the awakening gesture itself will not be enough. Focus on your brand. Touch it with your mind. It is part of you now. Find a way to reach it. No worries. Give me 10 minutes and we shall continue this lesson. We'll see about that. Man of little faith. Well, faith in me, anyway. It shouldn't be that hard, after all. We just need to find something I do a lot with my brand in my mind. Close my eyes to focus. I've only really seen my brand once, but its image is etched into my mind. Like, no? Slowly, I see the intersecting circles appearing clearly before me. But there's something wrong. It's as if something is missing. Taken by a sudden burst of inspiration, I set the circles in motion extremely slowly. So much so that I only notice their movements if I pay attention to them for a few seconds. Perfect, that's it. That's my brand. I take a deep breath, and as slowly and diligently as possible, move my ears and shake my hips. What are you doing? You told me to try gestures that are familiar and represent my personality. And that's all you came up with. You'd be surprised how much I dance. I'd rather not know. Obviously, this isn't your awakening gesture. Try something else. And that's exactly what I do. For a good 10 minutes, I try absolutely every gesture that comes to mind. I wink, I wave, I bow, I even try to give a good old-fashioned smack on my ass just in case. But there's nothing I could do to activate my brand, not even the beginning of a light. Damn, I really thought I'd find it in no time. It looks like it's much more complex than you thought, I'll figure it out. No one figures it out on the first day. It's even impossible that you've made the right gesture already. It's even possible you've made the right gesture already. You're just not used to your brand enough yet, but it will come. So what, I quit and we start again tomorrow? A break would be a good idea, yes, but we won't try again tomorrow. What? We'll meet again in 3 days. You can keep searching alone in the meantime. So that's it? For today, yes. However, should you ever manage to awaken your brand, do not activate it. Why not? You wouldn't want to repeat the mistake of what happened during the contest, would you? No, I don't want to do that. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Armor. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to our ultimate tier anyway. If y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to our not safe for work content as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!